Hello, everyone. I am Christa Jaganath, Audit Principal with Briggs & Veselka, bringing you the latest and greatest of what's going on in the restaurant accounting and finance world. So a lot has transpired over this past few weeks, one being the strong efforts of the Texas Restaurant Association and its local chapters supplying our frontline restaurant workers with the COVID-19 vaccination. Now, last week, President Biden released a tax credit for companies that provide paid time off for workers that are receiving or recovering from the vaccine. If you have 500 employees or less, you may be eligible for the tax credit for each employee up to $511 per day of paid sick leave that you provide from April 1st through September 30th of 2021. Now, the purpose of this was to incentivize employers to encourage their employees to receive the vaccine and for employees not to be concerned about losing pay for having to get the vaccine. Also making headway this past week was additional information being released regarding the Restaurant Revitalization Fund and the specifics of the application. Now, the application process itself has not opened yet and the specific date has not been announced. However, priority within the first 21 days of the application process will be given to women-owned restaurants, veterans, and minority-owned restaurants. These individuals must own more than 51% to qualify. Now, if you decide you want to restructure your business just so you can meet the criteria, support will have to be provided and you will be disqualified from the relief fund. Now, on day 22 of the application process, that will be open to everyone else. So, however, you are allowed to submit your application on day one. You just won't be considered until after the priority applications have been reviewed. So now is the time to start gathering all of your documents so that you are ready to go on day one. Now, a couple of things that stood out to me with the Revitalization Fund is that if you have over 20 locations, you do not qualify for this fund. If you have permanently closed or filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you also do not qualify. The fund can be used to cover the costs that you're already accustomed to under the PPP funding, but additionally, the Revitalization Fund can also cover any business debt, such as mortgage loans or equipment loans, but you must use your funds by March 11th of 2023, or any unused funds must be remitted back to the U.S. Treasury. Now, there are 3 different types of calculations to consider, depending on if you were in business prior to 2019, partially started in 2019, or started in 2020. Part of the requirement of this fund is that you will need to submit annual reporting of your expenditures and the utilization of the fund. So as a reminder, though, you can't double dip in your calculations. For instance, if you've already used PPP funds for a portion of your payroll, you have to exclude those expenses and the various tax credits you've already received from reporting your expenditures. Another thing to consider is that if you have received funding under the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant, you cannot apply for the Revitalization Fund. Even if your application is still pending, you still cannot apply for the Revitalization Fund. One thing to consider too is if you did receive the Shuttered Venue Grant and you expended more than $750,000, let's talk, because a single audit may be required for you. I know a lot of information is getting thrown at you and will continue to transpire over this next week. If you have any questions or want to know more details about the various relief funds and the requirements, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. 2021 is a recovery year. We have the right people in the right places to make this a successful year for the industry. So continue to lean on your advisors to ensure you aren't missing out on potential credits or opportunities. Reach out to me if I can be of any assistance. Do lean on me. Until next time, I hope everyone continues to stay safe, and I'll definitely talk to you soon.